Hello, love bugs. All right, remember last time you were in art, we did lines and we had a paper that had 6 dots and it had a line at the bottom and you wrote your name, and then from each dot you drew a different style of line. So one dot had a wavy line, one dot had a curly or looping line, one dot had a straight line, one had a scalloped line, one had a zigzag line, and one had a dotted or broken line. Okay, so today what we're going to do is use some watercolor crayons to add color to our paper. So when you start, you are going to get a placemat that looks kind of messy, but it will keep us from getting crayon all over the table. So you will put the placemat underneath your white paper with your lines drawn on it. And then in the middle of your table, you will have a bowl of watercolor crayons. Watercolor crayons are special because they work like crayons, but they turn into paint when you brush over them with water. So today what your goal is to color your whole paper so that we can eventually, I don't know if we'll get to it today, we may see, but we will take some water and a brush and we'll brush over it so that it turns into watercolor paint. So when you look at these, none of these have covers on them to protect your fingers. These are a little messy and they do tend to rub off on your fingers. Please do not wipe this on your clothes, okay, because it can stain. So when you're looking at your crayons and you may be confused about colors because some of the dark colors, the blues and the purples, look very similar to each other without the paper on them. So what you can do to test a color is somewhere on your placemat, or you could even do it on the back of your paper. You can check to see what color that is, whether it's purple or it's dark blue, because sometimes those look almost like the same color when there's no paper on them to tell you what color it is. So keep that in mind. You can check it on the back of your paper, or you could do it on the placemat. Okay, so what I need for you to do is to pick a color. It doesn't matter which one you start with, and I would like for you to do one color per section. And what that means is you're going to do a color, and then when the line starts, like, you stop that color. So for example, if I started with this pink up here at the top, I'm going to color from the top all the way to my first line, which my first line was a wavy line. So you can see that I'm coloring kind of fast. You don't have to be perfect about this, but I do need for you to fill in completely, meaning that you don't color scratchy and leave a whole bunch of white space, that you really fill in so that when we brush over this with water, that you have color everywhere in that section. Okay, so when you get to your next section, pick a different color, and I would like for you to use a different color in each section of your paper. So again, you can color fast, but you need to make sure that you color in pretty solidly, meaning that you are not coloring scratchy and you are not leaving a ton of white space. Also, when I color, I'm mashing down just a little bit to get the color to be a little bright. If you don't mash down, the color is going to be super light and it will not look good when we get ready to do the water. So I'll demonstrate that real quick so you can see. So I'm using purple right now. This is super light and I'm doing it super scratchy. I do not want you to color like that, okay? Do not color light, do not color scratchy. So you have to press down just a little bit, and I want you to color so that it fills in. Keep that in mind, okay? So we're mashing a little bit, we're coloring so that it fills in and you can see the color very well. We don't want the color to be too light. Okay, so you're switching color each time. So this is my finished paper, just to let you see what it can look like when it's done. So I have an orange section, a pink section, a light blue. I've got green in my loops. I have red. I have dark blue. yellow, and purple. So I used a different color in each section, and I colored solidly so it's not leaving a lot of white space, and I did not color light, okay? Remember, you've got to press down just a little bit, okay? Remember, don't wipe this on your clothes if it gets on your hands.